And so they're probably in there right now. And the thing they're trying to do is make sure that they get as many people out as they can so that people are safe. And then you want to try to get ahead of the fire so that thing doesn't keep going. So the spot fires is going to be a problem for them. So they'll have units going to that side trying to prevent any more spot fires while the other crews are trying to knock the fires down. And, it's a lot that they're trying to do at once and trying to get the equipment in there. I understand they've requested a lot of equipment and, they'll have air tankers, but they don't work as well on residential properties and things. I mean, it's still helpful. By no means is it something they don't want to do, but you want to get in there with that. But it's not the same as fighting it in just a brush condition where you can lay it down a nice pattern, because you're going to get homes and cars and all kinds of things. So it's a lot more difficult. The helicopters will be, a good asset for them. They'll be dropping water, and they can kind of hit on those spot fires and try to get ahead of it.
Yeah, good point. We see both the fixed wing and the helos in the air above this fire. And you talk about that air support, Lake Jennings just off to the northeast of where these flames are right now. What do you think some of the biggest sources of the water are? And right there we see the fire retardant as well.
Well, they'll go to the closest water sources they can get, and the helicopters can use those water sources. Now, the fixed-wing aircraft, they have to fly back to the tanker base, and Ramona closed down just last August, so those tankers, once they make their drops, they're going to have to go back up to Hemet to reload for a drop. In the meantime, the helicopters will be working the fire, and they'll probably use the lake there that's the closest, but there's several water sources around there. They usually try to get the closest one because then you have the least amount of downtime in between drops. And the helicopters, they operate at a lower level than the fixed-wing aircraft, so the air attack will be above, and he runs that whole program, so he has to make sure that they're all safe. So when the air tankers come in, if they do, then the helicopters have to pull out for a little bit to let the air tankers through, and then the helicopter would take back over. But they'll probably be using quite a few helicopters, I would think.
And we're seeing right now as Sky 10 zooms in that's a lot of the brush in the canyon area that's right behind the mobile home parks. It's part of the complexity that you were talking about, and then added to the fact that at least for those fixed wings, they've got to go to Hemet. So that adds a layer here that we don't usually see when they can run up to Ramona, making this just a little bit more difficult as we see a structure on fire right beside what was kind of a green patch.
Right, yeah, and that area, it's called the urban wildland interface because they're right next to each other, and it's pretty common in San Diego County and actually in Southern California. We have it everywhere. So the firefighters are pretty used to it. It doesn't make things any easier for them, and those canyons are nice. There's nothing in there. The brush has probably grown for years without having a fire in there. So there's a lot of combustible brush out there that's going to travel very quickly if you have any kind of winds at all. And we do have winds today. I don't know what the speed is down there they've got, but it pushes them through there, and then you being right next to it, and especially mobile homes are lightly built, and that's just part of the nature of having them. And they're closely packed together, so those things make it additionally dangerous for the firefighters and can cause it to spread very rapidly.
Bob, we're going to give you a minute just to catch your breath. Don't go away. There's way too much happening here with the flames.